The sound wakes him again. Marcus Hale lies awake in the darkness of their small craftsman house on Fremont Street, listening to the familiar hum of the refrigerator, the soft sighs of wind pressing against the old windows, the faint hum of faraway cars climbing the wet hills of northeast Portland. But there is something else tonight, a sound that doesn't belong. A soft chime. A vibration. The glow of a screen being turned face down on the dresser. His wife's phone. Marcus slightly turns his head on the pillow. His wife, Elena, lies with her back to him, one arm curled beneath her cheek like she's protecting something. Even in the dim, he can see her shoulders rise and fall with the steady rhythm of sleep. But he knows she's not asleep. Because the phone vibrates again. And her breathing stutters, just for a moment, barely noticeable, then resumes. Marcus closes his eyes. He tries to ignore the instinct curling inside him, a cold, unwelcome suspicion that has no shape yet, only weight. Something is wrong. Something has been wrong for months. And tonight, in the murky dark, it feels like whatever truth she's holding inches closer to the surface. He forces himself to roll back onto his side, away from her. Sleep stays far away, pacing just out of reach like a restless animal. Outside, rain begins tapping against the roof, a slow, relentless Portland drizzle that always feels like a warning. Mornings in Portland always smelled like rain and old pine, and Marcus usually loved that. He loved the serenity of the early hours, the quiet hum of life waking up. But lately, mornings had become something else, a place where the silence between him and Elena felt too wide, too heavy. Like two coffee mugs set on opposite edges of the kitchen island, never quite meeting in the middle. He watches her as she ties her hair into a low ponytail, her movements brisk, almost impatient. She had once moved slow in the mornings, warm and sleepy, leaning her hip against him as she made breakfast. But those days felt like they belonged to someone else's marriage. "Big day?" he asks, forcing casualness. "Always," she replies without looking at him. Elena works as a project coordinator for a non-profit downtown, a job she used to come home energized and excited about. Lately, she comes home tired, or wired, with a strange glow in her eyes, like her day had been too good to include him in. She pulls on her denim jacket, the one with the frayed cuff she refuses to replace. "I might be home late. We're prepping for a new fundraiser. For the third time this week." Marcus nods, because what else can he do? "You need a ride?" he asks. "No. Lily's picking me up." She grabs her bag. But something flickers in his chest. A reflex. A memory. Last time he ran into Lily, their mutual friend, she mentioned she hadn't seen Elena in weeks. "You and Lily hanging out again?" he asks gently. Elena hesitates. "Just briefly." Then, "Yeah. We reconnected. It's nice." She leaves quickly after that, the door clicking shut behind her like a period dropped at the end of a sentence he wasn't finished reading. Marcus stands in the kitchen alone, listening to the squeaky old hinges of the gate outside. He notices the small detail: the gate swings shut 5 seconds later than it should. Because she's not rushing out. She's lingering. Checking her phone. Waiting for a reply. Something clenches inside him. The distance between them is no longer imagined. It's growing. It's real. Marcus's job at a local architecture firm usually keeps him too busy to dwell on things. He loves design, loves clean lines and bold structures and the feeling of creating something solid. Unlike emotions, buildings don't lie. But today, the rain flooding the office windows matches the heaviness in his chest. He stares at blueprints, seeing only fragments, lines without purpose, angles without meaning. He texts her. "Hope your day's going well. Dinner tonight? I can cook." It takes her 40 minutes to respond. Late meeting. Rain check. Another rain check. Another delay. His coworker, Dave, glances over from the next desk. You okay, man? You look like someone stole your lunch. Marcus gives a tight smile. Just tired. But he's not tired. He's unraveling. The rest of the day drags like wet concrete. Every vibration of his phone makes him flinch. Every hour that passes deepens the ache. By the time he drives home through the slick Portland streets, neon lights reflecting off puddles like broken mirrors, he feels something gnawing at him. Something he refuses to name. Not yet. He finds it by accident. A scent on one of her scarves, warm, spicy, undeniably masculine. Not detergent. Not perfume. Not anything he's ever worn. He holds the scarf to his nose again. The smell is faint but unmistakable. A man. Something inside him drops, sharp and cold. He puts the scarf back exactly where he found it, hands shaking just slightly. He hears the shower running upstairs, Elena getting ready for bed, humming to herself faintly. She sounds lighter than she has in weeks. Too light. When she comes downstairs in her robe, toweling her hair, she finds him sitting on the couch staring at nothing. You okay? She asks. He looks up at her, searching her eyes for anything, guilt, honesty, something. All he finds is distance. Yeah, he lies. Just a long day. She nods. She doesn't come sit next to him. Doesn't curl up at his side like she used to. Instead, she disappears into the bedroom without looking back. Marcus sits there in the dim living room, the glow from the street lamps drifting through the rain-splattered windows, and feels something hollow grow quietly inside his chest. A scent shouldn't mean anything. It's nothing. But it's not nothing. It's the first real crack. And once a crack appears in a marriage, it only grows. Suspicion changes a person. Marcus begins noticing everything now, the way Elena checks her phone before unlocking the front door, the way she angles the screen away, the way she's suddenly protective of her purse. The excuses. The late nights. The sudden laughter at texts she doesn't share. One evening, while she's in the shower, her phone buzzes on the nightstand. He shouldn't look. He knows that. But he's drowning in questions, and drowning men reach for anything. The screen lights up with the name. N. Just an initial. No last name. No emoji. Too deliberate. Too careful. A second message appears. Can't stop thinking about last night. His heart stops. He doesn't open the phone. He doesn't scroll. He doesn't need to. The truth hits him like a physical blow. His wife, the woman he married 12 years ago under the cedar trees of Forest Park, the woman he built a life with, is sleeping with someone whose name he doesn't even know. He hears the shower shut off. The curtain rings slide. Water drips. Marcus puts the phone down exactly where it was, steps back like it might burn him, and walks downstairs with slow, numb movements. His chest feels too tight. His mind too loud. The rain outside begins to fall harder, as if the whole city is grieving with him. He plans to confront her. He rehearses it in his head, the questions, the demands, the pain he wants her to see. But when she comes downstairs wrapped in her towel, hair damp, eyes bright, something inside him shatters all over again. She looks happy. Happy in a way she hasn't looked for him in months. He swallows the confrontation. He swallows the truth. He swallows the pain. Instead, he says softly, I ordered Thai food. Your favorite. She smiles. For the first time in weeks. And Marcus realizes something devastating. He misses her. He misses the version of her that was his. He misses their life before a stranger's scent on her scarf. So he does nothing. Cowardice or hope, he can't tell the difference anymore. The next break in the story is too large to ignore. One rainy Thursday night, Elena comes home with her hair curled, something she hasn't done in years, wearing a fitted dark green dress he's never seen. "You look nice," he says carefully. "It was a work thing," she murmurs. But he sees the smudge of lipstick she missed wiping off. He sees the faint bruise on her collarbone, half hidden beneath her neckline. He feels sick. When she goes upstairs, he finally breaks the boundary he's been avoiding. He checks the location history on her iPad, something synced by habit years ago. Her work event wasn't downtown. It was at a hotel off Burnside. A place known for dim lighting and privacy. The world tilts. He sinks into a chair, the air thick and suffocating, as reality crushes him slowly, deliberately. She's not just cheating. She's in a full affair. She's choosing someone else. Someone who isn't him. It happens on a Sunday morning, strangely peaceful. She's laughing on the phone in the backyard, thinking he can't hear. Her voice soft, intimate. "Last night was amazing. I wish I was back there with you." Marcus stands inside the kitchen, coffee trembling in his hand. The mug slips. Shatters against the floor. The laughter stops. A moment later, Elena appears in the doorway, eyes wide, robe tied too tightly. "You heard," she whispers. He looks at her, really looks, and for the first time sees a stranger wearing his wife's face. "Yes," he says. Her mouth opens, then closes. She doesn't deny it. She doesn't even try. Marcus feels something cold settle into place inside him. "Who is he?" he asks. She hesitates, then whispers. "Nathan." The name feels like poison. "How long?" Her eyes fill with tears. 6 months. 6 months. Half a year. A parallel life running alongside his marriage. He nods slowly. Too calm. Too steady. "And you were going to tell me when?" She crumbles. Crying. Apologizing. But the apologies float around him like snowflakes. Pretty. Weightless. Meaningless. Something inside him snaps quietly. He walks past her, steps over the broken mug, grabs his coat, and leaves the house without another word, into the cold Portland rain that has been foreshadowing this moment for months. Marcus doesn't scream. Doesn't drink. Doesn't confront the lover. His revenge is quieter. More devastating. He calls a lawyer first. Then he empties their joint savings account, the one he funded, the one she barely contributed to. He gathers every document she signed in the past 12 years. Every record. Every agreement. He files for divorce, citing infidelity with proof. He arranges to keep the house she stained with secrets. When Elena receives the papers, she breaks. She sobs. She begs. She tries to explain how the affair wasn't supposed to mean anything, how it just happened, how she was lonely. Marcus listens with a stillness she can't read. When she finishes, he says softly, "You broke something I can't fix." And he means it. On the day she moves out, Portland is wrapped in thick morning fog. She stands on the porch with her boxes, looking at him with red, swollen eyes. "I loved you," she whispers. "I still do." Marcus meets her gaze calmly. "If you loved me," he says, "you wouldn't have waited 6 months to remember." She flinches like he struck her. She walks down the porch steps, shoulders shaking. At the bottom, she pauses, maybe expecting him to call her back. He doesn't. She gets into her car. Starts the engine. Drives away. Marcus watches until her taillights disappear into the mist. The house feels quiet. Heavy. But honest again. He closes the door slowly. Leans against it. Exhales the breath he's been holding for half a year. The rain begins again, gentle, steady, cleansing the air, washing away everything she left behind. For the first time in months, he feels something like peace. Something like freedom. Something like a beginning.